All right, today we are going to dive into an idea that is so big it might just rewrite the very foundations of physics. It's called constructor theory, and it all starts with a question that sounds, well, almost too simple.
So think about it for a second. Modern physics is amazing, right? It can explain pretty much everything from the tiniest quantum particles to the vastness of the cosmos. But there's this one huge fundamental blind spot. What's the one thing it still can't really explain?
It's this. It's the difference between can and can't. You know, our physical laws are fantastic at telling us what will happen if you start with certain conditions, but they don't have a fundamental law that just says this is possible and this is impossible. Ever. I mean, imagine trying to build a castle out of water. Physics can describe every single water molecule, but it doesn't just come out and say, nope, that task is just not on the menu.
And that, right there, is where constructor theory steps in. It's a pretty new idea from physicists David Deutsch and Chiara Marletto, and it completely flips the script. Instead of looking at how things move, it redefines physical laws based entirely on which transformations, or tasks, are possible, and which ones are just plain impossible, and why. Okay, so the best way to get this is to stop thinking about particles and forces for a second. Instead, I want you to picture the universe as a kind of simple machine, like a universal gadget that's built to make things happen.
Here's the basic recipe. It's super simple. You start with an input, let's say a lump of clay. Then you apply a constructor. Now, a constructor is just anything that can get a task done. In this case, it's the potter's hands and their wheel. And what do you get? An output, the finished vase. The whole task is only considered possible if a constructor actually exists that can pull it off again and again.
And this is the key. It so perfectly shows the core idea. There is a constructor that can turn clay into a vase, so that task is possible. But there is no constructor in the universe that can take that same lump of clay and turn it into pure gold. That task is impossible. So in this new way of thinking, the laws of physics are really just statements about which constructors are out there and which ones just aren't. Okay, now hold on, because this is where it gets really, really cool. If you build up physics from this new foundation, just focusing on what can and can't be done, you can actually start to write completely new kinds of physical laws that our current theories just don't even have the language for. And one of the very first things to come out of this new approach is absolutely mind-bending. It's something called the Constructor Theory of Information. And yeah, it totally redefines what we even mean by the word information.
I mean, really let that sink in. What does this mean? It means information isn't just some static pattern of ones and zeros. It's a physical thing, defined by the possible task of being copied. Life isn't just a bunch of complex chemicals bumping into each other. It's matter that has a constructor that allows it to perform the task of making copies of itself. Seen this way, the entire universe is this incredible tapestry of transformations, all made real by the constructors that make them possible.
And believe me, this is just the tip of the iceberg of a whole new way to look at reality. If your mind is buzzing right now and you want to see just how deep this rabbit hole goes, we've got the link to the original research ready for you. Thanks for exploring this with us.